Hey everybody, Adam here for True North Wilds, and this is the gear check. I have another knife today. I'm hoping to get onto something other than knives in going forward for this playlist, but as of right now, the only thing I've tested is knives because I have a lot of them. The one that I want to talk about today is the Gerber Myth Series Compact. I bought this on Amazon. The purpose being for a skinning knife and for doing some fine work cutting up my deer that I hunt. So the purpose of this was mainly for the skinning. I thought a nice, small, compact, sharp, flexible knife would really help me in the field, get in there and skin a little easier than a bigger, bulkier knife. And then also when I was processing the meat, getting in down around the bones and the joints and stuff and getting all the little pieces, the flexibility of the knife I thought might be useful. So that was why I bought it, and that is what I used it for. So just a quick heads up for anybody that doesn't like the sight of meat, raw meat, or a little bit of blood. I will be showing clips of using this on a hanging deer, so for skinning, and then cutting up the meat on my counter. So just an FYI for that. As far as the knife itself, it comes with a really nice sheath. I'll say that right off the bat. I like the sheath. It's got a sturdy nylon webbing sort of thing that actually is the part that goes on your belt. It's very, very sturdy, rugged. I don't think that's going to rip or tear or be affected by the sun or the water or anything like that anytime soon. It's got a really nice rubber clamp over the end to hold it in. It works really well. Everything feels solid on the sheath. Nice hard plastic. It feels good on the belt. Wearing it around camp and using it for little cutting tasks. It worked, it was comfortable to carry. It didn't get in the way at all. So I liked that part of it. The knife itself has this really nice Gerber rubber handle. I don't know what it's called or anything. I have a couple other Gerber knives. They have the same sort of rubber. It's very similar to the Schrade rubber on their handles, which I absolutely love. It's a really comfortable rubber to hold, and they have it actually integrated on this knife with a hard plastic. So the front end here, this lighter tan color, is hard plastic, and all of this black is actually the softer rubber. It's a really interesting knife to hold. It feels really secure. That hard plastic, little bit of a finger guard, you feel like pushing against it, it's going to actually hold. Whereas the rubber, you kind of can slide across it a little bit if you try. That hard plastic is not going anywhere. It gives it a little bit of rigidity, and it has that stripe through. Just gives that handle a bit of rigidity. It's a really nice combination with that rubber. Very comfortable to hold. The blade itself has a good amount of flex. So I'm happy with that. As far as actually using it, I did put it to the test, like I said. So we got a couple deer in Alberta last year, and this worked, but it didn't work great. So skinning was not that much of an issue. The skinning part, you can see here, it went pretty good. The knife was sharp. The knife, Uncle Randy used it, and he was perfectly happy. It worked for him. Gary used it on his deer. It was, again, worked perfectly well for that. The deer were still warm. We had just got them, and we were getting the skin off to cool them down. So that contributed to how easy it was to skin them. I don't have confidence that this would work as well on a cold deer. So depending where you are and how you do things, if you leave your deer hanging for a little bit before you skin it, and that fat has a chance to get hard or cool down, or if there's any bit of freezing or anything like that, this will have a hard time getting through. Because the blade is super thin and flexible, it's not really, doesn't have a ton of spine, it's a very thin blade, so getting through the skinning in that case would be a little harder. I didn't even bother trying. I could just tell. I could be completely wrong on that, but that's just my thought on it. Taking this into the house when we got back and actually processing the deer is where I was really disappointed with this knife. It actually lost its edge really, really quickly. It does come with a sharpener on the end of the sheath. You can pull it through, you can sharpen it as you go. But it's annoying to have to do that every time you cut off a piece of meat, to have to go back and sharpen it. It did not hold the edge really well at all. You can see here with Dave cutting up part of the deer, just even going through a little bit of silver skin or a little bit of a tendon or little chunks of meat, trying to get along the bone there, really having to saw at it. And this is after sharpening the knife. So it's only really good when it's freshly sharpened, hasn't been touched yet. You get a couple good slices out of it, and that's about it. It lost the edge really quickly after that. So I have mixed feelings about this knife. I wouldn't buy one of these again. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody that wanted it for those tasks. It did fine for skinning when the deer was still warm. That's pretty much all I'm going to use it for, other than maybe, you know, cutting a little bit of rope around camp, or using it maybe as a little belt knife to cut my food in camp. I might use it for that. And even then, going through a steak that's been cooked, it doesn't cut that well, so I'll have to sharpen it each time. So if you're looking for a good skinning knife and something with some flex that's going to help you process meat and get in along the bones and go through tendons and stuff where you need some fine control, I would pass on this. I would get something that's maybe a little stiffer and something that holds an edge a lot better than this does. Ergonomically, it's comfortable, but functionally, it's just more of a hassle than it is useful. Let me know what you guys think down below if anybody has one of these, and if they have similar issues. I would be curious to know that. While you're down there, don't forget you can like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot for the channel. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/TrueNorthWilds, on Instagram @TrueNorthWilds, and of course our blog site, TrueNorthWilds.com. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you outside.